Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So this is today's Panihati Chid Dahi festival. Very nice festival, joyful, another joyful occasion. And this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antalila 651. Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chanda, Jai Gaurabhatavina, Tadichita Bhaksana, Karaha Mura Gane, Suniyanandita Ila Raghunatha Mane. Make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and chip rice. Hearing this, Raghunath Das was greatly pleased. So this festival is known as Chida Dahi Mahotsava, or chipped rice festival of Panihati, yearly celebration of Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, and Lord Nityananda. It took place on the banks of the Ganga at Panihati, which is just north of Calcutta. Though Chaitanya and his associates enjoyed many pastimes here. So this festival remembers how the Lord mercifully reciprocates with his devotees by arranging through Nityananda and Raghunath Das Goswami to provide an ecstatic feast of yogurt and chip rice, along with various other nectar foodstuffs. This wonderful pastime is described in detail in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antalila, chapter 6. Now, Raghunath Das Goswami was one of the 6 Goswamis. He was born in a very wealthy family. It said that that family was billionaires, like in today's terms, billionaires. And he was married to a very beautiful wife, but he was very detached, because he had become attached to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He tried to run away from home many times, but his father would always catch him, or he would send some guards and bring him back. But once his father allowed him to visit Nityananda Prabhu at Panihati, and he was paying his obeisances from a long distance, but the Lord summoned him and ordered him to prepare and serve chipped rice and yogurt to all present. So this is it. He was far away from Nityananda when he was paying his obeisance, but Nityananda called him over and he was teasing him. Why are you hiding, you Conjuice, what's conjuice? You miser. Come over here. And then he put his feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. Such a lucky personality. And then Nityananda ordered him, feed everybody. You're such a wealthy person. His father was a billionaire, remember? So anyway, Raghunath Das happily followed the order, observed the festival by distributing chip rice mixed with yogurt. So this chip rice festival, it takes place just before the monsoons, when it is very hot. So now, I mean, it's been hot in Bharat anyway, but it gets hotter and hotter. It's 45 to 50 degrees centigrade. You can't even imagine how hot that is. And muggy. 18 to 90% humidity, because the monsoon's about to come through. So naturally, the most cooling of foodstuffs were offered. Cool yogurt, dahi, and chip rice, chida, were offered with sugar, bananas, milk sweets, and cakes. Raghunath Das brought chipped rice, yogurt, milk sweets, sugar, bananas, and other eatables, and placed them all around. As soon as they heard that a festival was going to be held, all kinds of Brahmins and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus, there were innumerable people. Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunath Das arranged to get more eatables from other villages. It was one incredible festival. There were people everywhere, on the grounds, on the banks of the Ganga. It was just chock-a-block, because Nityananda was celebrating. And when he celebrates, he knows how to party. Hearing about the festival, all kinds of learned scholars, Brahmins, priests went there. Lord Nityananda Prabhu honored them and made them sit on a raised platform with him. So chip rice is like pava. Do you know what pava is, Sunil? Poha. You might call it poha. It's rice which is flat. It's dried and flat. Very easy to cook and very easy to digest. Hearing about the festival, when chip rice has been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not there. He was not there. But Nityananda Prabhu forced him to come. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda stood up. They then saw how the others were enjoying the chip rice with yogurt and condensed milk from each and every pot. Lord Nityananda took one morsel of chip rice and pushed it into the mouth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. All the Vaishnavas standing there were seeing the fun. You can just imagine. And there were a lot of pots. It was like thousands of pots. So from every pot, Nityananda is so kind. He took, because he wanted to give the benefit to the cooks. He took a morsel, he took some chip rice and yogurt, and he would put it into the mouth of Chaitanya. And everybody was just enjoying. You can see the devotees, they're sitting everywhere. There's no gaps anywhere. The day after the festival, Nityananda Prabhu gave Raghunath the blessing that he would very soon attain the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After this incident, Raghunath, with the help of his priest, whose name was Yadunandan Acharya, got out of his house by trickery and thus ran away. He secretly went to Jagannath Puri. So up to this time, Raghunath Das Goswami, every time he would try to escape, his father would catch him. He would always have some guards around him. And the more he tried to escape, the harder it was for him to get away. And he was always desiring, of course, to be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is where Nityananda blessed him. Yes, you will very soon attain the shelter of Chaitanya. So this is a very good example for us that we want the service of Radha Krishna, and that is none different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But we need the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu. Without Nityananda Prabhu's blessings, we can't serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Radha Krishna. So this is wonderful, wonderful. The Lord is so kind. Nityananda is so kind. He will grant our wishes to serve the Lord. So we are very fortunate to be having the association of Lord Nityananda. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entrusted Raghunath. So he ran away to Jagannath Puri. The guards actually did catch him. The father's guards caught him because they found him. But they saw Raghunath was so intent on going to Lord Chaitanya. They let him go. They let him go. Anyway, he reached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who entrusted him to Sarup Damodar. Sarup Damodar, a very special person. He's a personal secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's either Lalita or Vishaka, I can't remember which one. But one of the gopis, very close to Radha Krishna. And Sarup Damodar acted like the personal secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If anybody wanted to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they'd have to go through Sarup Damodar. If anybody wanted him to read, them to read Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to read their work, first Sarup Damodar would look at it. And if he approved, then it would go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarup Damodar knew very well the moods of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the mellows, the devotional sort of emphasis that he had. So Sarup Damodar could really, interact with this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very nicely. Anyway, Raghunath was a very austere personality. He was shunned his family's wealth. They were so wealthy, but he didn't care two hoots about any money. And he lived the life of a mendicant. He lived like a beggar. Well, he's not a beggar. Devotees are not beggars. But they beg because they want to remain humble. So more details on how this festival was celebrated. The rule for following Ekadashi is that on Dasami, One will take fruits and roots once in a day, fasting from grains. And on Ekadashi, one follows full Niljal. And on Dwadasi, one takes fruits and roots also once. That's really austere. Then on Triyodasi, which is today, one again takes grains as normal. The devotees would follow like this. On Triyodasi day, Nityananda Prabhu arranged for the bhaktas to take grain prasad in the morning. There were different gradations and levels of following Ekadasi. When one takes grains once on Dasami, fasts fully on Ekadasi, takes grains once on Dwadasi, that is not a complete observance of Ekadasi. It does not give the complete result. Wow. Different bhaktas would observe Ekadasi to various standards. However, Nityananda Prabhu made the devotees so intoxicated with the bliss of Nam Sankirtan, everyone forgot food and drink completely. On Triyodasi in the early morning, Nityananda Prabhu told Raghav Pandit that he should arrange prasad that day for the bhaktas. He came then with the bhaktas while doing kirtan on the banks of the Ganga. And there he remembered Pulina Bhojan with Krishna on the banks of the Yamuna river. He remembered how Krishna entered the forest of Braj with the sakhas and the calves. The sakhas played on many instruments. Baladev Prabhu was in the front. Then bigger sakhas, and then 1 or 2 year old calves, and then Krishna's Priya sakhas, and then more calves, and then another group of sakhas. They call the Suhrit sakhas. Then the Narma sakhas, then the Priya sakhas. Okay, Priya and Narma sakhas came. In this way, 5 groups of sakhas go to the forest with Krishna. Krishna comes with his prana pressed sakhas. He's so close to him. Sakhis and manjaris watch. Hidden in the forest, some climb on roofs of their homes to see Krishna leaving for the forest. Some gopis stand by the pathway with gifts for Krishna. Krishna goes and takes flowers from one gopi, sweets from another, a drink from another, and drinks it and teases another. And while going, the sakhas are singing and playing on instruments. That kirtan is so mesmerizing. It must have been such an amazing festival. The calves are dancing and playing along with the sakhas. No one feels any lethargy or tiredness. When there is no kirtan, then people have no strength and are like dead. From where will the rasa enter? When will the taste come? They're like buffaloes. But that place where kirtan ras enters, one receives parama amrit jivanam bhushanam me. Drink, divine nectar, which is the ornament and vitality of life. Braja's Sankirtan Ras is manifest during Gocharan Leela. Nityananda Prabhu began this Gosta Leela Kirtan, and the bhaktas were dancing in bliss. Raghunath Das Goswami then arrived. So Nityananda Prabhu knew who he was. They'd never met, right? But Nityananda Prabhu, of course, is all-knowing. He knew that before Krishna goes to the forest, the Sakhas Manjaris prepare everything for his refreshment in the groves of Braj. Sometimes Krishna takes his meal before going on Gocharan. And sometimes, if it is late, then Krishna takes breakfast with him and his friends and eats on the bank of the Yamuna. Sometimes he takes at Bandira Vrta. In Braja, 4 Vrtas are famous: Shingar Vrat, Bandira Vrat, Yavat Vrat, and Vamsi Vrat. From Vamsi Vrat until Bandira Vrat, the foliage of the Vata tree spread and makes a beautiful canopy for Krishna to pass under. And the sakhas climb over the branches which cross the Yamuna. Sometimes Krishna and his friends sit under the banyan tree branches on the banks of the Yamuna and there enjoy breakfast in great festivity. Even having breakfast is a festival in the spiritual world. Eh? They eat, play, and tease each other. Especially Madhubangal is teased. Madhubangal is the chubby Brahmin boy. And they love teasing him, and he loves being teased. And he can give it as good as he can get it. Madhumangal acts in a way to encourage this knowingly, taking this role to further please Krishna and the Sakas. The Sakas thus enjoy hasyaras, laughter and humorous mellow. Nityananda Prabhu was absorbed in this Pulina Bhojan. When he heard that Raghunath Das Goswami had come and offered pranam from a distance, Nityananda Prabhu called out, "Hey, thief, why are you hiding? Today I will not allow you to hide any longer." He called him forward, placed his feet on his head and said, "Now, arrange to feed everyone present. This is your danda, your punishment. You have brought many things from Brajamandal, but you are hiding them. But now I give you permission. Start distributing everything. You're like a thief who stole everything and hid it. So now I give you order to distribute it." Of course, this was a joke because Raghunath Das Goswami was very renounced. He's no thief. He wanted to use everything for the service of the Lord. But this was fun. Nityananda Prabhu behaves like this. He really likes to take the mickey out of the devotee. He likes to take the mickey out of the Lord as well. All that was needed for was for this to be said. It appeared that everything was already prepared because very quickly everything was arranged. It was like the door only had to be opened and everything brought out from the storeroom. Why? Because Raghunath Das Goswami is Rati Manjari in the spiritual world. She's the manager of Krishna, Radharani's storehouse in Braj. So this is not an ordinary person. This is a highly exalted Manjari. In Vilapa Kusu Manjali, Raghunath Das Goswami, he's written this, he explains how in his Manjari form as Rati Manjari, he goes to Nanda Bhavan and enters the kitchen. Rati Manjari cleans the kitchen, prepares all the ingredients for Radharani to cook with. She sprinkles rose water in the kitchen and spreads lotus petals for Radharani to walk on and make sure there is no stones or thorns on the path. Because Srimati Radhika is Komala Angi, very soft-limbed, especially the soles of her feet are very soft. So this is an amazing description by Rati Manjari or Raghunath Das Goswami regarding his form as Rati Manjari. Nityananda Prabhu began Nam Sankirtan and then manifested Vraja Leela by engaging Raghunath Das Goswami. In distributing prasad to everyone. Nityananda Prabhu was remembering Pulina Bhojan with Krishna and then saw Raghunath. He knew what he really is, who he really is, and then instructed him to serve the devotee by arranging this for Pulina Bhojan. Raghunath was overjoyed to serve in this manner and quickly prepared everything. So he's the perfect devotee. He loves to serve the devotees. On this day of Dahi Chidva Mahotsav, during Triyodasi, Nityananda Prabhu distributed Mahaprasad from the hands of Rati Manjari to a seemingly endless number of people. So many people took this prasad. There was no place for them to sit on the banks of the Ganga and surrounding countryside. Many climbed in trees to take there or stood in the water and took prasad there. Some climbed on tops of roofs and took prasad there. Everyone was completely absorbed in bliss of honoring Mahaprasad. In Vrij, there are two types of prasad. Grita Sneha is greasy but not sweet. Madhu Sneha is full of sweetness. Through Raghunath Das Goswami, Nityananda Prabhu began distributing both Madhu Sneha and Grita Sneha. In one pot, he soaked Chidwa and added honey, sandesh, and various varieties of bananas like champakela, martakanman, kutali kela, malagbhog, as well as mangoes, raj, ganda, lemons, lychee, jamun, and other fruits. And in the other, he soaked flat rice with milk, sugar, ghee, and sweets. He offered everything to Nityananda Prabhu, and then after offering everything to Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu had 2 pots of these preparations distributed to everyone. So this is an idea of what it looks like. This is the chip rice with the milk and the yogurt and some fruits. And this is an example of some pots which would have been made today for distribution in Panihati. So this is the Panihati Chida Dahi Utsav. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Any questions, any comments?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
have you tasted this dish?
No, because to be honest, I only really got to understand this festival a little better since the lockdown. And because of the lockdown, we've never actually, visited a temple during this festival.
Yeah. Let us see whether we can get it in Vrindavan. I don't know.
Probably not, because today is the day they do this.
Today is the day.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Probably next year, maybe going to the manor on this day would be a good move.
Yeah,
So,
good idea.
yeah. Good.
Okay.
Thank you, Dani. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
Yes, I just came to Arti's house, so we thought that we joined.
Good, thank you. So let's stop there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Oh, did I not? Oh yes, yeah, this side. Duh.